I want every person I've ever met in my life to be at my funeral. I want tears. I want speeches. I want songs sung in my honor by Grammy winners. I want it to be truly devastating.
Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Today's guest is someone that we hope lives for a very long time. She is the pop powerhouse with a voice as vibrant as her infectious energy. Her latest album, Big, and her incredible dance moves have brought joy to countless millions. Please welcome the fabulous Betty Who.
Thanks for having me, David.
Are you comfortable?
I think I am adjusting to this lifestyle.
It's a new sensation, isn't it?
Lying down is nice. Little known fact about me, I have bone spurs in my feet, and so standing hurts all the time. So this is actually ideal for me.
Bone spurs, something that affects dancing?
Yeah, I call them my feet teeth. They jut out of my heels, and they make everything painful all the time. I probably need to get them sawed off in a surgery, but you know, that's why I'm lying down today. So
I don't want to make light, but I'm assuming we don't brush or floss our feet teeth.
No, but
okay. I
do like the idea of that.
Betty, please know that I am being forced against my will to ask you a series of impossibly challenging questions. After this, you and I will be very different.
Okay.
This is a segment called Questions You Need to Answer Before You Die, or as the graphics team calls it, Quintabit. If you could be invisible for one day, what do you think you would do?
I mean, I want to say rob somebody or someplace, probably corporate America in some fashion. Tiffany's, I don't know, it feels kind of like a 90s place to go steal things from, but...
Betty Who? Diamond Thief. Betty, if your life was a pre-existing movie title, so this is a movie that has been made and produced and been out in the world, any movie that's been made before.
There is a Tom Hanks movie called Big.
No, I'm not joking. I was impulsively going to make a joke after whatever you said, and I was just going to say mine would be Big.
And you would be right about that.
There's a childlike quality about you, as well as I like to think myself.
I think that creative people a lot of the time are honoring that part of themselves, because so often it's the young person who goes, I don't know why I love this thing, but I love it, and you do it and you want to pursue it and see if it could actually be you. And I think that young creative people are silly enough to think that we could be one in a million. And I have tried to connect back to the part of me that was very young, as you're saying, that like wanted to do it in the first place and believed I could do it in the first place. That feels such a powerful energy that I'm always trying to connect to again.
Thank you. That was a great Quintabit round. I'm sure that those questions have you rethinking everything and questioning all. Is there anything that maybe, I don't know, you're working on right now that makes you feel alive?
I'll be totally honest with you, since we're in a very honest space here. It's been really hard for me to want to make new music for a while. I think I worked really hard on my last record, on Big, and I'm really proud of it. But it took a little something from me that I have been trying to figure out how to get back. And I've been trying not to force it, trying not to spook myself, you know? And I just recently made a couple songs that made me go like, okay, we're both creative people who do many things.
Yeah.
We have so many multitudes. And I've been focusing a lot on my other things.
If you do at some point choose to share what it is that you're cooking up with the rest of us, I look forward to enjoying it.
I'm sure I will, and I'll make sure I send you an advance copy, David.
The reason that we're here today, ultimately, is to normalize conversations about death and dying. Are you ready to talk about end-of-life celebrations, funeral planning?
Sure.
Now it's time for a segment that we call Death Wish. How would you like to die?
painlessly. But I wouldn't mind going out in sort of a dramatic fashion. You know, I think that a little bit of drama in death would be very exciting. But I don't want it to be long and slow and painful.
No. And isn't it inherently kind of dramatic anyway? It's like, this is the final bow.
Yeah. Like,
so it's like, if I'm just
literal
laying
death. Yeah.
in a papasan, comfortably snuggled in a blankie,
yeah.
it's still dramatic. It's like,
yeah, because then like, come find me, sis. Like, you know,
that's it.
discover my body. Yeah, that is a little dramatic just in itself.
This is interesting because for me, it changes and evolves depending where I'm at in my life. But how often, right now, would you say, do you think about death and dying?
I don't think about my death. I think about my loved one's death, and I fear it. And I think it's not something you can outrun, and it's, you know, it comes for us all. So there's nothing you can do about it, and I think worrying about it is only going to take away the time that you have while you're alive. Plenty of time to worry about death once you're dead. I don't know if you have fears about dying before I accomplish all the things I want to accomplish. That's my big fear about death.
Have you ever done any funeral planning for yourself?
I go back and forth between what I'd really like to happen at my funeral. On days I'm feeling particularly benevolent, I think I want everyone to have a big party and have a great time. But most of the time, I want so many people there. I want every person I've ever met in my life to be at my funeral. I want everyone to be so impossibly sad. I want everyone to not know how they could go on without me for at least an hour. I want tears. I want speeches. I want songs sung in my honor by Grammy winners. You know, I want it to be truly devastating. And then, you know, after a reasonable amount of mourning, people will, you know, learn how to go on without me, but I want it to be difficult.
Of course, you said an hour. I'm good for a week. Yeah. I mean, I want there to be gnashing of teeth and kvetching and keening. I want someone to throw themselves on the casket.
Yes, please.
If there's a portrait of me, someone to collapse into it. I want there to be numerous people with black veils on, and no one knows who they are. I want
mourning suits, you know,
Do you know if you would want to be buried, cremated, or eaten by wolves?
It's not the last one. I'll go ahead and tell you it's not going to be eaten by wolves. Okay. Although my dog does look like a wolf, so there's a part of me that goes, Jimmy's going to eat me? Okay. So, you know, I could be convinced probably. But I think I want to be cremated. That's how most people that I have loved who have passed on, that's the experience I've had with most of them. But I don't want to be a follower, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that. I do kind of love the idea that graveyards are sort of like, you know, like an apartment building that everybody lives in. And you're sort of like, oh, that's my neighbor, you know, Sharon, and, you know, she was 85, and she's a little kooky, but I like her, you know. Everybody's sort of in the afterlife just like kicking it, you know? Having some martinis.
His weird shorts.
Yeah, weird shorts. Why buried in shorts, you know?
Pull those up for us. If you were a ghost, do you think that you would haunt? I mean, is haunting even a choice for ghosts? Do you think just by existing, they're technically like haunting? Is it their nature?
I feel like the ghosts being is because they haven't been able to cross over, right? That's like the lore of ghosts, is that they're here because they have unfinished business.
Something's holding them back to this plane.
So if I would love to be a silly little ghost. I would love to keep all my friends on their toes, make them laugh, you know, knock stuff over. A cheeky ghost. I don't want to be a scary ghost. I want to be a fun, sexy little, you know, maybe like I would love to fall in love with a human man in my ghost form, but he's the only one who can see me, like that Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon movie. I think that would be really an exciting time.
Be a naughty ghost. Thank you so much for being here on Grave Conversations. Before we let this interview expire, get it, naturally, I do have one final thing I want to ask you to do. Please give your own eulogy. It's
nice.
Spelled out Y-O-U.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I am with you.
Eulogy.
Okay.
So when I say die, You're gonna have 60 seconds to give yourself your own eulogy.
It's timed. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, 60 seconds. When I say die, think, don't overthink it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, die.
Betty Who achieved many things. You know, she did her best. I think that that's important for us to all understand and to know. For all that she's done, you know, her haunting melodies, her graveyard tunes, I think that her greatest achievement was to love the ones that she loved, the way that she loved them. And that feels earnest and real and right. And, you know, we're all proud of her for that, and we will miss being loved by her so much that let's all collectively throw ourselves on her coffin in mourning and sadness.
Time's up. And our time is up. That was beautiful. You are a beautiful soul, Betty.
You're beautiful. David, shut up.
Okay, bye.
It's just me now, huh?
Don't close me in, okay? I don't want to be closed in. I'm happy that he's happy, but I don't think I want that. Can I put in a request for the next Casket adventure that I think I need an extra long one? Do you know that when I was in boarding school in grade 7, they had to make me an extra long bed because none of the beds were long enough for me. So I'm feeling a little triggered, to be honest.